Yes, boom, what's good, people? This is your boy Frank and Rita.
Hey guys.
From Rita and Halads. We're back again today with just some of our random talks, and this time around we're going to talk about
Moving either outside London or staying in London.
or actually
Going abroad.
Going abroad. If you've lived in London most of your life, would you consider that? So yes, babe, what do you think? Because I think you were born here, weren't you? So you've lived in London for a long time now.
Well. Living in London. I've lived in London all my life, basically. And I love it. I love it. Because I think there's a lot to do. There's a lot going on. If you want to go out for a meal, it's next door. If you want to... the transport is perfect. Everything is just on point.
Yeah.
Well, in a way. It does have its bad side. But for the good, it's got a lot of good things going.
I'm slightly different. I don't think I agree with what she said, that everything is on point.
It is though.
Because when you say everything is on point, you're basically saying you won't struggle for parking space and...
I did mention that it does have its bad things, like...
And then...
advantages and disadvantages. It's not all good stuff.
Yeah, because remember, like during lockdown, we were stuck in the flat for pretty much of the time, and we had no difference than from someone that was in jail, did we? Because we were stuck in the same space.
Everyone was in jail, to be honest, when it was during lockdown. Everyone was sort of in the same situation, but ultimately the services were a lot better in sense of, let's say, if you had to order food or anything like that, the deliveries were not as bad compared to people that were outside London. Do you think?
I don't know. You might be right, obviously, when it comes to services. However, I still say that if I was outside London, because there's so many people that probably broke COVID rules that lived outside London. They took their dogs out for a walk.
But no, you weren't allowed to go out for walks.
Longer walks. But anyway, that's besides the point. But what do you guys think? Me, I think obviously I wasn't born here. I only came here a couple of years ago. About 45 years ago, I've been. But yes, so I've lived here, and from get-go, I've always thought being outside London is fairly better. Because maybe it just might be that me as a person, I've got a fairly laid-back life, and
mind you, just like you said, you like laid-back life. You like a slow-paced life. You don't like fast things. Let's say, for example, like when you go to Central London, the way people walk, it's mad. Like people walk really fast. Well, you will only notice if you've lived outside London, because you get there, everyone is a little bit slow. Nothing like Central London, because I've lived outside London at some point as well. I lived in Crawley. And then I lived in Stenning as well, and I found it really different. People were really laid back. They were not rushy like it is in London.
But sometimes that laid back kind of life
is good.
Why? Because I noticed I went to Wigan for about 6 months, and I noticed everywhere you went, people were friendlier. You would get on the bus and people were always willing to come and help you if you was lost. If even just for a quick chat, there was always some willingness for people to chat to you. But you get on the underground train here, people.
You get the underground look. You get the where everyone is like.
It almost feels like everyone in London is suspicious of each other. So that to me is a bit of a push factor. That's why I would always argue for being outside London. I don't mind having a mix. Like imagine you live an hour or two away from London, give or take, say Northampton. Like Rita has got friends that live in Northampton. They can come to London anytime they want.
Okay. So question. Would you rather bring up children in London or outside London?
Personally, I would always
Leave alone what we've discussed as a couple, like generally, what would you prefer?
Personally, if I had a choice, I'll probably everyone has a choice. I think what I would say is, if money permitted, I would probably take my kids out of London, in the sense that I would probably even go outside. One of the countries that I really would love to live in is Australia. I'll probably take my kids to Australia. I don't like the
Why?
snakes. I don't like the snakes in Australia, but they say it's family friendly. I've not done my research. They say it's family friendly, and actually Ireland. I went to my friend's wedding a time ago, about 4 or 5 years ago, in Ireland, and people are so friendly. It was so nice. Then when I did a bit of research on it, apparently it's one of the best countries to raise families. So I think I would go Ireland, either Ireland or Australia. If those didn't work, one of the things I probably choose is somewhere in Africa, destination Africa. Yeah.
I love Africa. For me, if you ask me where I would like my kids to grow up, I'll still say England.
Yeah, why is that?
I don't know, I think because I'm more comfortable in England. I'm more comfortable here.
Yeah.
It could be fear of new places or fear of change. But if I think about it, I would say England, but not in London. I think there's a lot of activity going on in London that I won't want my kids to grow up around it. Not that it doesn't happen elsewhere, it does happen elsewhere, but I think you get more exposure in London compared to other places.
What, more exposure to?
To things like drugs, alcohol. Obviously it's everywhere, but I don't know, I just feel like it's on your doorstep compared to you moving to somewhere not too sort of crowded, if you like.
I think any big city you're going to struggle with all
like
sorts
that.
of behaviors, because most big cities are multicultural, and obviously with multicultural you get different
Crowds and crime and...
Not necessarily crime, but you get different influences, because you could go to somewhere that's not necessarily multicultural. Say if you went to Scotland, is it Aberdeen? They used to struggle a lot with knife crime, but we never hear about that in the news. So I think that every big city you're gonna find pockets of issues.
Yeah.
I don't know if that would influence my reasons for taking my children out of London, but it's a fair point for yourself.
Yeah. So for us as a couple, this is what we've agreed. Guys, put your comments down and let us know where you would rather bring up your children, London or outside London, yeah? For those that live in England, or what country would you rather bring up your children? So for us as a couple, we've decided to... What we decided? To...
Move to Dubai?
No.
Yeah?
No, we're not moving to Dubai.
We're gonna go to... So yes, no, I'm joking. Sometimes I like to I like to pull her leg, but where are we moving to? What did you decide on?
Outside London.
Where? I don't know.
No,
Yeah.
I'm not saying the city, but we're moving outside London.
Oh yeah, hopefully in a long time we'll move outside London, buy a house in the sticks, live there with a garden and all of that. No, I was gonna say all of that nonsense, but forgive my French, and it's... Yeah.
But at the moment we live in London, and we live in a flat, right? Beautiful, by the waters, as you can see.
I'll just show you a little bit of a view. It's a very nice flat.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah, that's
a little view.
Yeah, you can see the water just about. Yeah, so we live by. I mean, it's a lovely flat. It's like. It's got it all going on.
Too expensive for the view, but
it's not too expensive for the view. I think it's alright. But but my take is, for children, for families, it's not good for children. It's not good for families because, first of all, I always worry about my kids when they go on the balcony because I think it's not safe, and I think they need more space. to play, and they're getting older. So that means we're gonna have to move as soon as possible and get them more space, because we've got two little boys, two cute boys. So we're gonna have to move out of London and find them somewhere better, more space for them, somewhere comfortable for them to play, isn't it?
Yeah, when you say better, obviously, as you know me, I tend to be a bit different, because better is relative. To someone else, better is this is better, but our kind of better.
Our kind of better.
Yeah.
It will be a bigger house with a garden where they can play, more green, not in a flat.
Yeah, where you can bring a dog and
because we're thinking about getting a pet as well in the future.
and hopefully get a snake.
A snake?
Would you get a snake by then?
No, we're not getting no snake.
Do you know the crazy thing? If you got a snake here, you'd have to feed it dead rats.
No, we're not having snakes. We're not feeding no dead rats. I don't want no dead rats in my house. Sorry. I mean, I love pets, but snakes are not for me. Sorry, guys. If we use snake lovers.
So, guys, what do you think, man? Would you own a snake? Because some pets people have, I find them so weird. Like how you can go to the shops or the pet shop and buy a snake. What are some of the weirdest pets you've seen?
I mean, we're not saying we're against animals and things like that, but I just find snakes a little bit creepy. Like I don't know, they just scare me.
Yeah.
But anyway, guys, don't forget to subscribe. Recent Halad, and we shall be sharing more about us, and if we get to move, we shall let you know where we're moving. We shall show you what is happening, hopefully. And we take it from there.
That's it. This is where you come for those random stories, those random topics that you'll never find anywhere, and that goofiness you'll never find anywhere. You get it real on this channel. That you just come to this channel, get a few minutes of your day and enjoy it. Please don't forget to subscribe, like Rita has said. Rita and Halad's down there.
Yeah.
Peace out until another time.